Hey guys, Vesper here with Killey. We're doing another podcast on the aftermath of Final Round. So you recovered, Killey, from the weekend, man?
That was a very long weekend.
It was, dude. Seriously, those brackets were so early because there's so many players, and it was just like after Saturday, man, I barely recovered, and then Sunday it was just like, ugh, just so much fatigue, man, on Sunday, dude. It was nuts. But the tournament actually ended pretty early for us on Sunday. Like it was around like 6ish or something.
6 or 7.
Yeah, it wasn't. I thought it was gonna go till midnight. I was scared. I was scared I was gonna like just completely fall asleep and go into a coma. I was just so tired after Saturday, man.
Well, top 8 was first to 3 every match, which I
Mhm.
found surprising, so I thought for sure it would drag out. But we had some 3-0s going on.
Oh yeah, we had some blow ups, hey, and that really
Yeah.
sped up the brackets pretty fast. Yeah, you can always use those blow ups every now and then. So overall, how did you feel about the tournament, Killy?
So the tournament was pretty good from a spectator point on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
But Saturday didn't get a whole lot of quality matches.
Okay.
They were just like sporadic.
Yeah.
Um, so it was kind of hard to like just dedicate yourself to watching the one stream. If
Yes.
you're looking for like the top players, you didn't see too many of their matches. Like I think,
And there were a lot of top players.
yeah.
You know.
So it was just kind of crazy that a lot of them didn't get streamed. Like I barely saw any Momochi. I don't think I
Mm-hmm.
recall seeing any Momochi.
Mm-hmm.
Might have missed it though.
Okay.
Same with Infiltration. There was like one match for him to qualify out of winners that got streamed, and that was about it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there was just tons of players we didn't get to see. So I was a little bit disappointed from that side of things on Saturday, considering it went to like midnight.
Yeah. So on Friday was the team tournaments,
Yeah,
and then Saturdays when the pools began, and it was over 1,000 players, right? Like 1,025 for
they
Street Fighter
capped
Five.
out. Yeah,
They
1,000.
capped out, and then they ran 64 pools, and then I guess the way they streamed it was they went one pool at a time. It looked like
It looked like that, but I'm not
it
entirely
seemed
sure.
like it, and then on Sunday is when they did the top 128. But yeah, I don't think Final Round was anticipating that many people to come in,
Yeah, they
and
didn't seem prepared for
yeah,
that many entrants, considering what SF5 entrants about 1,000 plus players, and then
mm-hmm.
the next highest pre-reg game was Tekken 7 of about 175. The last time I checked, anyways.
Really,
So like you have this huge disparity of pre-reg numbers between two games. So
yeah,
I don't think they were ready for it, but it could have been handled better.
mm-hmm.
There were a lot of complaints about Final Round in terms of I don't think anybody got their pool assignments until the day of, so Saturday.
Yeah, because I was waiting for the
Like,
brackets to come up.
yeah, and then they didn't release it until like 4 a.m.
Yeah, it was really late.
Eastern
I was
or
getting
something.
worried. Yeah,
So it was just like, oh my God, how are they handling the pools? So
yeah,
because they did on-site reg, which is why they met the cap.
mm-hmm.
And then they released pools on Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
but not everyone like saw their pools. There was a lot of chaos going around from what I read on
At
Twitter.
least the tournament, like, even though there were some ups and downs, at least it was done. It made it on schedule, I guess.
Yeah, it finished on a timely manner, but
Yeah,
in
but
terms of
missed
how
opportunity in terms of like the hype, seeing all the top
yeah,
players. Yeah.
seating seemed kind of questionable as
Hmm.
well because they said it was a brand new game, so no one's proved themselves yet, so they didn't want to do any sort of seating. But
They should have did
they should
regional
have did
seating, though.
regional seating 'cause
Yeah.
there was one pool that had Zen and Zhaohai in it, and it's like,
Ooh.
why put those two in the same pool? It made no sense.
They were probably sitting next to each other on the plane on the way there.
Like, oh my God, that's so brutal. Why
Yeah.
would you put those two in the same pool? Because they had 64 pools. There's
Mhm.
no way that you couldn't fit one of those players into a different pool. They're within like the Southeast Asia region, somewhere around there.
Especially when the brackets were done so last second.
Yeah, like there's no reason why that should have happened in my opinion. Like
Okay.
that could have been handled better. Um, so yeah, we had a lot of these like kind of miscellaneous pools that just had some questionable seating here and there.
Like running tournaments is definitely not easy, but this is like a heads up for all the TOs coming up. Like Street Fighter Five is super popular, so
Yeah.
you gotta expect some insane entrants especially on the majors.
Just prepare for it, right?
Mhm.
Just prepare for those worst case scenarios. And they gotta like make sure the brackets are built properly because there's a lot of double jeopardies going on.
Two double jeopardies I remember. It was what did Kazunoko play Tokido again?
Yeah,
And Haitani, he had a double jeopardy with Haitani as well, right? Who was the second double jeopardy?
Toito, I think.
Yeah, there was a second.
I don't know.
second
There's a couple double jeopardies going on, and I
Yeah,
feel like if you built your bracket out right, that shouldn't happen until like very late
yeah,
into
the
the.
very and it's inevitable at the very end, right? In case you guys don't know what a double jeopardy is, it's when you play the person that took you out and
That's
put you
sent you
in
to losers,
losers,
basically.
and you run into him again uh, at some point. It's called double jeopardy. Usually those are avoided depending on how the brackets goes, and you don't run into them until you absolutely have to.
So in pool play, that would only happen in like the loser final kind of thing.
Yeah,
But once you get out of pools, you shouldn't see that happen. Say you made it out in pools and winners, so you shouldn't see a double jeopardy happening for a very long time,
hmm
unless it's like a short tournament. But with that many players, top 128, that shouldn't have happened
yeah.
till like very end.
I see that NCR, the next major coming up, they already have their brackets ready to go.
Yeah, so
So that's good.
pools, basically pools have been posted for NCR, which is next weekend.
And I heard they have some kind of they're doing emergency.
Yeah, so any on-site registration goes into pool 16.
So the pool can be as big as it wants, or what? There's
Yeah,
no.
they said they made a note saying like it doesn't matter how many players, everyone's going into like pool 16.
Oh my god, dude.
So you could end up with a death bracket
Yeah.
in there, or you could end up with a really easy.
I know it's hard to get these emergencies in, but when you have like 1,000 man bracket, man, like I think you gotta enforce it. Like if you didn't pre-reg by then for such a huge tournament,
Yeah,
for the sake of getting everything organized, like I feel like you really should enforce it that no emergency entrance. But
yeah, that kind of thing. It should be like there has to be a good compromise to benefit both the players who registered early and the TOs.
hmm
I feel like by doing emergency pre-reg for final round, for example,
hmm
it was very stressful for both the players and the TOs, and it's a lot of unnecessary stress
Yeah.
that can be avoided.
Yeah.
So you had a lot of DQs happening, and
Yeah.
it's just it seemed like some people were kind of unhappy with the experience overall.
hmm hmm Um, back to the brackets when you're saying there wasn't enough top players on camera. You felt during the stream.
Yeah.
The thing is that you do want some no names up there, right? Going to tournaments is a great way to get your name out there and prove something and show everyone, right? But the thing is that when you got like a no name versus a no name, it's painful for the viewers sometimes, but it's also hard for the commentators as well.
Yeah,
You got
because how
two
do you
people
how do you
that
commentate on that play?
yeah, when you have two people scrambling around and they seem inexperienced, it's hard for the commentators to commentate because they're like, what? I don't agree with that. This. Everyone's
Yeah,
just
you try not
jumping
to
around.
be biased. You don't want to put players on blast.
Yeah,
And
of course
all
you
sorts
don't.
of things. So it's just kind of like, how do you commentate on something like that?
Yeah, yeah, and
And
then
I think
but
it kind of ends up devolving into play-by-play commentary, which most people don't like.
yeah, so like having a known player versus a no name is a great compromise because then you got the no name who wants to prove himself, and then you got the high end player where people can commentate off of and you can see new strats or whatever tech they bring to play, and then it's easier for the commentators, easier for the viewers because they're cheering for their favorite player. So that's always like a good compromise. But to do that, you really need to, like I said, you have to have a lot of playing on those brackets, right? You need to see exactly who's going to be playing who, and then set it up properly when the tournament begins. Especially, like you said, regional seeding.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm not trying to flack down final round. Of course, the tournament was great. It's just that these are the results of what happens when you have like 1,000-man bracket. It's tough to manage, dude.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So like, hopefully, all the TOs see that in the future. It's gonna be crazy. A lot of prep work you got to do.
Yeah. It's a lot of pressure on final round because it is the first major.
Yeah, they're the first ones, right?
Well, there's that one in Kane's Winter Clash, but still, for North America, this was like the first major.
International,
Yeah, for
Big.
CPT.
Mm-hmm.
So this was a lessons learned, and hopefully moving forward, the rest of the TOs are prepared.
Yeah. So, anything else you want to talk about with the tournament in general? Because I'm gonna go right to the Alex topic.
Oh, you don't want to talk about the matches exactly, or
No, I want to talk about the Alex announcement or lack thereof at the end of the tournament. Like we're still talking about the tournament.
okay, let's just move on then.
You want to move on? Okay. We're going to talk about the players soon.
Yeah.
So at the end of the tournament, well, we know Infiltration won, and he was demanding on the mic for an Alex trailer, which was, it was kind of bad that Infiltration did it because it made it a little bit worse, right? Because there was no Alex trailer announcement. But this has nothing to do with Final Round. Like, it's not their fault, of course, to control if Capcom advertises it or not. But I strongly feel that Capcom missed out on the boat here.
This was a huge missed opportunity, in my opinion.
Yeah, massive. Like, if it was like March 3rd or something, I would understand. But we know we were promised the update in March, which is really needed because Street Fighter V had a very rocky start and they need content out now. And now we're getting close to the last week of March here, March 21st. The tournament ended, and we got nothing. Absolutely nothing, except for the Rashid theme. And they played that Alex stage theme too, didn't they?
Yeah.
They're just trolling.
Like, the thing is, we know Alex is already completed, and we know they have footage of Alex because they posted all those screenshots of Alex and stuff like that, and they talked about his playstyle on Capcom Unity forums.
Mm-hmm.
So we know all that they got him ready, and this was a huge opportunity to showcase Alex because it's March 20th. Well, when they finished up, and we're now in the last week or two.
And the patch will come out in March, and
so we know it's not coming out this week because they didn't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then that basically just leaves at the last week of March, which is such a disappointment.
It was. It really was. It was such a high, and then a crazy low right after.
Yeah.
It would have been such a great way to end the night. And with these premium Pro Tour tournaments, they should be an announcement at every Pro tournament.
Yeah.
They should be to keep that hype train going. We're at peak viewers, right?
Yeah.
Like the viewers are at the peak. They saw the finals, and then womp.
Pretty much. Like, probably we'll see him at NCR, but still. Now.
But then NCR ends on what, the 27th?
7th, and then it's like, okay, he's out on Tuesday or something.
Tuesday on the 29th. That's 2 days later.
Really, you release him at the very end of March, which is very disappointing to see. I was hoping, my prediction was that they were going to reveal him at Final Round because
that was mine as well.
They revealed the Capray last year at Final Round.
Yeah.
So it would have been a perfect timing to showcase another character at Final Round and then say, okay, Alex is available on March 22nd.
Yeah.
That would have been like crazy hype.
Yeah.
But now it's like nothing, so you have this huge like lost momentum here. And now, will we see him at Final Round? When will we see like the new? When are the details of the release date of the patch? Right?
Yeah.
Give us something, right?
The thing is like Capcom's been playing catch up ever since the rocky start. Okay, they've been playing catch up. They have issues with the rage quitters and other things and glitches and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say worst case scenario, they had no footage. What they could have at least done, like let's say they don't have a trailer, you can't get a trailer prepped up in time. Okay, that's fine. But they should have done something. They could have done literally a slideshow and go through Alex's moveset and move list in text. You don't need screenshots, just in text. And explain to us how the character is. Like, what the EX version of his moves do. Just to build hype. Give us something. Give us the date of the release.
I don't know. I don't think people would have well received text. I think they would have been like, meh, that's kind of lazy or whatever like that. Or,
really?
I think people would have bitched about it.
Like, I'm not asking for Ono to, burst through the wall and in an Alex cosplay. I'm just saying that they should have gave something.
I would have preferred at least bare minimum an announcement of the release date of the patch. That's what I would have liked to see. At bare minimum.
And we got another character coming out next month, Killey.
Yeah.
We don't know who it is. And, the speculation is going to begin. But, like, when the Alex trailer comes out, hopefully they have a teaser of the next character at the end to keep the hype train going. Because that was another missed opportunity during the launch of Street Fighter V.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Just the way they're handling their marketing seems a little lackluster right now.
Yeah, I don't understand it, man. I really don't. It's... Yeah.
I don't know what's going on over there. Maybe there's some issues with, like, maybe they're running into issues with delays or whatever like that. I don't know.
I just don't think they can afford this kind of stuff right now, man. With the rocky start, like, Capcom's got to, get on it. Like, this game is supposed to have a long lifespan, right? We need to keep this hype train going. There are some killer games coming out this month and next month. Like fighting games are a niche. We gotta you gotta step it up here.
Yeah, there's been a lot of backlash overall with the launch date.
Yeah.
Not launch date, but the launch of SF5 has
Yeah.
met with a lot of backlash from reviewers, from casual players and stuff like that. So Capcom needs to kind of swing this around.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, that's about the tournament overall. So let's talk about the players and the matches. I don't know how you want to do this, Killey, but I was really excited. I'm like really excited for this tournament final round because like we get to see some international how these players collide and see how their playstyle matches against other people. People are really excited because like for the U.S. to say we're on an even playing field now. We can finally see who's dominant in this game.
And then Toito kind of dashed their hopes.
And then Toito is just massacre. Yeah, Toito, man. I want to talk about Toito so badly, but
yeah, but we'll leave him for later.
Yeah, we'll leave him for later. But Hiani and Toito impressed me the most out of the whole tournament. I learned a lot of things too watching it as well.
Yep.
How do you want to do this, Killey? Like, do you want to talk about the team tournament at all? Do you want to talk about the Toito versus the U.S. team tournament?
Let's do the team tournament. So Friday.
All right, go ahead, man.
So there are 2 Japanese teams that enter and a bunch of U.S. teams. Grand finals ended up being Team Japan, which was comprised of Kazunoko. Who else was on that team? Oh, jeez.
It was a 3v3, wasn't it?
It was a 3v3.
Okay.
I can't remember who was on that team anymore. I think it was Kazunoko, Boken, and Reiketsu.
Okay.
I think that was
I hope you're right.
Could be very wrong.
Okay. It was a 3v3, though.
Yeah, and Boken wasn't... I don't know where he's from. Because I think he was like a translator or something like that.
You can keep talking. I'm going to check to make sure you're right. You can keep talking. I'm on it.
Red Ketsu is a known Vega player in SF4. He's like one of the best. And then he just uses Vega in SF5. Some good stuff from him. And then Kazunoko with Kami. And then it was versus F-Champ, Justin Wong, and Ricky Ortiz. And it was going a little bit back and forth, but eventually, like Team USA just kind of took it, kind of got a read on the others, and then.
You were right, by the way. Team Japan was Boken, Kazunoko, Reiketsu, and Team US was Justin, F-Champ, and Ricky.
So yeah, it's kind of rough for Team Japan because Boken wasn't the greatest player.
What? You're just saying he wasn't a good anchor? Just put him on blast.
He wasn't anchor. He was starter.
Oh, okay.
He was El Capitan.
Yeah, El Capitano.
And he lost every time. Every time I watched, anyways, he lost. And then Rick.
So you're saying his team could have threw him under the bus if they wanted to?
They could.
They could. Okay, that's legit.
So yeah, I don't know. And then like, usually it was like Kazunoko having to hold it down. I don't remember what the score was exactly at the end, but
it was pretty. I think it was pretty.
3-2. I don't know.
It was convincing. I think. I think Justin was giving him a really hard time, weren't they? Like,
I think initially, like I think that team put him into losers first.
Okay.
And,
I missed that part.
Like they had a really hard time against Kazunoko. I remember Kazunoko would sweep them basically.
Okay.
So it's basically like if you could take down Kazunoko, the rest of the team was like more manageable.
Fell apart. Okay.
Yeah. So usually it was like Boken first, then Reiketsu, and then Kazunoko. So mix between those two. And for Japan, it was like, okay, if we can deal with F-Champ, we can deal with the rest of the team. And then like all of a sudden Justin Wong picked it up, and it's like, okay, Justin Wong's giving us problems. And then eventually it was just they lost to Team USA.
Okay.
So there's some interesting stuff. The Japanese really rated Kami high, so I want to see what Kazunoko is bringing to the table to really showcase Kami as being high. But he had some clear issues with certain matchups.
Yes.
So yeah, that was a team tournament. Not everyone entered the team tournament. I think they capped it to 32 teams. I could be mistaken though. And then afterwards, there was like a salty sweet equivalent thing. And then we got Team Japan, which was I don't even know who was on the team. All I know is just
Team
Tokido.
Japan. Does it really matter? I'll tell you who it was.
It's Team Tokido.
Team Tokido. Team Japan, 5 guys: Tokido, Bonchan, Mago, Fudo, and Haitani.
Oh God.
Haitani. And yeah,
Team,
and then
then it was like Team East Coast basically.
Yeah, and it was Team BBC Logic.
It's like Li Joe, Moons,
yeah,
Marvisto,
Alucard, and Diego.
Was it?
Or
Okay.
Diego.
Who did he use?
Cammy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And and so Art's like, this is the real Team Japan. What ended up happening was
Tokido Familia. Yeah.
Just OCVs that team. It was a total blow up. Not even close. He just OCVs that team.
Took out the entire team by himself.
It was just like Arturo was absolutely hilarious in commentary.
Yeah, Bonchan and Mago just went up to their hotel and just went to sleep.
Go to sleep.
They knew they were not needed. Yeah.
Arturo sounded so down too. He was just like, "This is the real Team Japan," and they're like, "We thought we were so close to the Japanese," and then it's like Tokido. He was on commentary. It was Defeat Lee and the girl that does commentary on East Coast. You know the name.
Was it Kujo Kate?
Yeah, Kujo Kate.
Okay. Yeah, it was done on stream, right? But it wasn't like on the like official
It was Arturo's.
stream.
It was Arturo's.
Yeah. It was kind of strange.
Yeah.
It's too bad. But there was a lot of viewers though, for sure, that saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. It looks like
was a pretty
Tokido was
good
holding it down for Daigo, who didn't show up for the tournament, by the way. Very strange, isn't it, Killey?
Only to you.
Because like during my stream, I was like, Daigo's gonna show up, and make me.
No, because we knew Daigo wasn't going to show up, because on Friday they announced that Daigo was streaming on that day, so we knew he wasn't going.
It had nothing to do with Daigo watching my stream?
No.
You sure? He wasn't watching? Okay.
Yes. Okay.
I'm just saying.
Moving on.
Okay. Yeah, so you want to talk about pools now?
Yeah.
Alright, pick a player.
A lot of upsets happening.
Yes, of course. In a tournament this big, of course.
Momochi got eliminated before top 128.
And he was using Chun-Li?
Yes.
Did you see a single match from Momochi? I didn't.
Did not see a single match from Momochi.
Ooh.
I could have missed it, but yeah, I did not see a single match from Momochi.
Chun-Li, eh?
Yeah.
I want him to use Ken. I really do. Obviously, Chun-Li is a good character for him to use, but...
He used Chun-Li in third strike, if I recall correctly. That or Makoto. I think he used Makoto. I can't remember anymore. But anyways, yeah, Chun-Li, like, clear best character, so obviously Momochi going in with that top tier.
He's going in. Didn't really work out, though, did it?
No, unfortunately not. Something happened. I don't know.
Do you know who he got eliminated by?
No, I don't remember.
Ooh.
Dogger ended up making it out of losers finals with Bison. So I don't know who sent him to losers in his pool, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, there was a lack of Bisons, it seemed. Like, obviously I was rooting for Moons.
Moons got sent to losers in his pool by an Mika player. There's Kizzer K, I think, or something like that.
Ooh, the Mika blow-up.
So it was a very clutch thing, because there's like 10 seconds left on the clock, and it was like one down to the final round, so whoever won this last round would move on in winner's side. And then the guy activated a delayed Nadeshiko, and he started dashing in, and so Moons kind of froze up, because he's like, when is Nadeshiko coming? And then he blocked Nadeshiko, and when the guy finally dashed up to him, he command grabbed him, and that was for the win. So that was a heartbreaker there for Moons.
Yeah, at least it wasn't on the China stage.
Yeah, and then Li Joe got sent to losers in pools as well, but he made it out in top 128.
Yeah, he was one of the favorites too. Yep.
To do well, yeah. Who else? Let's see. Bonchan made it out in winners, I believe.
And he uses Ryu, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fudo made it out. Infiltration made it out in winners. Pretty much unchallenged. Tokido was in winners or losers? I think losers. He lost no, it had to have been in winners because he lost to Kazunoko. So
yes.
They definitely didn't put those two in the same pool.
Yeah.
Haitani made it out in winners. Kazunoko made it out in winners. Justin Wong made it out in winners. Yeah. Pure Rog, I think, made it out. Graham Wolf made it out in Losers, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Using Chun-Li instead of Vega. That was a
Mm-hmm.
little bit surprising. Uh, YA made it out, I
A
think.
lot of the names that you expect would get to the top 128 because it's just so
Yeah,
huge, right? It was just
yeah.
during the 128 is when people just started like getting destroyed,
Dropping.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snake. I think one of the other surprises was Snake Eyes making it out in Losers. He
Mm-hmm.
lost early in pools to a birdie player. I think
Yeah,
like
he was
going
a
second.
favorite. Yeah.
So yeah, so a lot of like upsets going on because a lot of people losing or getting eliminated earlier than you anticipated, and then yeah, and then we had that debacle of a pool of Zen and Zhao Hai. One pool, and Zen ended up sending Zhao Hai to losers with his Fang.
Mm-hmm. Um. So
Sonic
what
Fox
now?
did well too. He was
Who
in
do you want to get to the top like 16, top 8 now?
yeah. So in top 128, you can narrow down to the top 16. There's some really good matches going around,
Oh
like
yeah, for sure.
Jaewong versus Hai Tani comes to mind.
Mm.
It's a very clutch one. I was
I
down to
really like how Justin is playing Karen.
yeah, plays her how she should be played, very footsie based.
Yeah, that standing medium kick, you can get so much mileage off it, man. And then once you get your V trigger, then your standing hard kick becomes very threatening. And then you got that burst comeback factor, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just his execution's not up to point with that character, so a lot of drops here and there.
Yeah, Karen's got a pretty high ceiling.
Yeah,
You can drop a lot of stuff too.
yeah.
And Justin's really got that core game plan down though with the shimmies and stuff. He's been lining that very consistently ever since he's been playing Karen.
Using the stand short up close, all sorts of things. But just the
Stand short's +3 on block, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
just
that's
the really
really good.
strong stuff of Karen. So
Hmm.
I like it.
Yeah,
Uh,
Justin was playing good.
Tierra Rog was doing well too, but three characters, man. He used Nikali, Laura, and Vega.
Hmm.
That was crazy.
Yeah, that is pretty nuts, man. Trust me, I know how hard it is to use a bunch of characters. Like it gets overwhelming too.
Yep.
PR is an excellent player.
So let's see. I think the surprise, one of the underrated players, I think, was Goichi
Okay.
Chun-Li.
Yeah.
Goichi is apparently the number one ranked Chun-Li player
Okay.
right now. But if you guys aren't familiar with Goichi is a very strong anime fighting game player. This guy like plays almost every anime fighter you can think of, and he does really well.
Okay.
He'll be champion in different tournaments with stuff like Dengeki Bunko Fighting Climax, Under 9 in Birth, really Nitro Plus Blasters or something. I don't know. Also Aquapaza. Like every like miscellaneous anime fighter you can think of, Goichi like does well in it. I remember he entered like CEO Otaku and he got like first place in almost everything but like Guilty Gear.
Really? That's insane, dude.
Like, this guy is just so good at so many different anime fighters. So for him to enter Street Fighter is like, oh, I wasn't expecting much from him. But then I heard he was like the number one Chun, so I'm like, okay. And yeah, he was doing really well. His execution is pretty insane.
It's pretty good doing the spinning bird kick cancels with Chun Li, but to be fair, he was using the light version of the spinning bird kick
Yeah,
outside of V trigger, which is a lot easier to do, a lot more consistent.
yeah,
But when he was in V trigger, then he was using the medium kick version. A lot of consistent instant air lightning legs that I
yeah,
don't think is as good as people think it is. I feel like he was doing too much of the advanced stuff, but not really going
yeah,
too much. It seems like as a Chun-Li player, you practice so hard on doing these instant legs consistently, canceling to the spinning bricket consistently. This is all you want to do. Whereas Chun-Li, even without those extra tools, she is still amazing character. And I feel like Goichi was not using a strong neutral enough. It seemed like he was going in too much with the
yeah. A little bit lacking on the ground game, like the neutral game aspects.
yeah.
Very good on the advanced stuff and the pressure and the mind games, but not fundamentally as strong as some of the other players.
Yeah, it wasn't balanced out enough, but he still
Yeah,
performed very well
I
and
think he was kind
repped
of, I
Chun Li very well.
think he was like went under the radar by a lot of these players.
Yes, yes, for sure.
Um,
I think K-Brad performed Cammy very well.
oh yeah, K-Brad improved
I was very
so
impressed by
much.
K-Brad.
So
Um,
much from Winter Brawl. His
yeah, I
cameo
think he
was
really
looking
clicked with the character transitioning to Street Fighter Five. Like he was doing, like Cammy, I feel is very difficult to open people up with. You really gotta understand what to do once you get in. His just changing up from frame traps to meaties to shimmies. He was doing it all, and it was really, really interesting watching him play Cammy. I really enjoyed K-Brad's Cammy for sure. I think he did very well.
What about Kazunoko?
Kazunoko's Cammy, I had high expectations for Kazunoko's Cammy, but he didn't do anything that made me jump out of my seat. He just played a strong, textbook Cammy, I would say. In terms of Punko's Cammy, I think Punko's Cammy is a little too crazy. I think Punko's kind of looks like he's kind of almost soul searching right now.
That Punko style of play.
Yeah, his Punko style play. I don't know if that transits really well to Street Fighter V. You get blown up pretty hard on a wrong guess DP.
Yeah.
His Cammy is really risky. I can understand, like I said, Cammy is very hard to open people up, especially in high end play. So you have to do some risky stuff. But it's hard. It's hard to consistently win that way.
I like some of his decision making though. Like he always saves half his V trigger. So instead of doing like the full V trigger combo to use up the entire bar, he just goes for one half of it.
I feel like as a Cammy player, you always should only go for one, unless obviously if it's lethal. I feel like if you save one, yes, you're kind of gambling, but the V trigger, it drains so slowly. You have a chance to open them up for such a long amount of time, and if you do, the reward is huge, whether going into super or right into an EX, kind of spike. So I really do feel like as a Cammy player, you should only always do one, really. So I do like that. And Punko had a heartbreaking loss. Didn't he miss a super? He used the wrong strength.
Yeah, he was going to do chip damage. He went DP super, but he used the wrong strength for the super, and it sailed over VesperArcade's head in the corner.
I remember calling that on the couch, though. I'm like, oh, man, he's going to chip out with super right here. And then he had the right idea, and he just the wrong button.
The wrong button. Cost him the match, and put him on tilt, and he cost him...
Oh, major tilt, dude. Of course. You cannot make a mistake like that at that end of the run.
So he ended up losing against VesperArcade.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was a heartbreaker for him.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? Dogra had an interesting Bison. It wasn't the greatest Bison, but he had an interesting mix-up.
I didn't see his matches, honestly.
Mostly in teams.
Yeah.
But he had a really interesting setup. I think he got a knockdown with Inferno.
Mm-hmm.
I really can't remember now. Certain knockdown, and then he goes scissor kick right afterwards. And if they didn't... I think if they don't quick rise or something, I don't know. The scissor kick ended up crossing over. So when you get up, he's like behind you.
Yeah, you leave a hitbox down with his Inferno, kind of like Rishi with V-Trigger, and then you quickly use a move that moves you forward to cross him up. Like, I've been seeing a lot of crazy tech videos on
that's
Bison.
only in that was the V-Trigger one, but he did this without V-Trigger.
Oh,
so
really?
He combos into Inferno or something, causes a knockdown, does scissors, and it crosses over.
Oh, really?
So when they get up, he's just behind them. So I think it's off of a quick rise or something.
I'd love to see some footage on that. That's cool.
This is a team tournament.
Oh, okay.
Go check that out. That was
I will, man, for sure.
It's like the one mix-up I haven't seen anyone do with Bison. So that was about the only thing I knew that I saw with Bison from Dogra.
Yeah, people are complaining that there was a lack of Bisons in the tournament. So I really hope more people are repping Bison. I still think he's an excellent character and definitely not explored enough. He's got he's a little bit linear of a character, but I still feel like Bison's very strong. So hopefully in NCR we get some more Bison players. And hopefully all your Bison mains out there you guys aren't discouraged just from this one tournament.
But, didn't see a lot of Birdie as well.
Yeah, surprisingly, hey?
Yeah.
Birdie would be excellent, So.
Yeah.
A lot of Cammies, a lot of Karen players, a ton.
Quite a bit of Rashids too, surprisingly.
Yeah. So there were some characters kind of lacking. They weren't showing up in the tournament for such a huge tournament,
Yeah.
Yeah. So who else are we going to talk about? You want to talk about Snake Eyes with his button flying off? What the hell was that about?
I don't know. His controller fell apart.
Snake Eyes, he uses, from what I remember, he's using the vanilla Mad Catz Street Fighter 4 pad, the one that looks like the Genesis controller. And during his match with Jay Wong, his lariat button, I guess this is L1, it literally flew off during the match, mid-match.
Oh, great.
That's, yeah. So Snake Eyes, you gotta make sure you got a spare controller in your pocket, man, because that's pretty bad. You know?
Yeah, his controller like fell apart. There's like a screenshot on Twitter of like the controller being like split in two or something.
Yeah, that's pretty
His
bad.
controller just fell apart during a match. So,
Speaking of controller malfunctions, we forgot to talk about the whole
oh
Razor
my
stick
God,
thing, dude.
there is so many controller malfunctions during final round. There was a lot of pausing going on.
So
Like,
who's to blame here? Like, is this because of the legacy controller issue with Street Fighter
no,
Five,
because
or
they
what?
banned legacy controllers. Remember, the only thing that would have caused it was like the DualShock 4s
Uh huh.
and like any sort of maybe specific stick issues. So, in terms of DualShock 4s, we had a pause happen with Wolf Cone versus Sonic Fox.
Okay.
And then they found out that Wolf Cone caused it, so he lost the match as a result.
You hit pause by accident.
I don't know if it was on purpose or not.
Okay.
There was a lot of like controversy going around it when they checked back the footage and stuff like that.
Why? Why is that?
Because Wolfcon said he didn't pause, and then when they checked back and everything, like Sonic Fox could prove that he did not pause and that it was Wolfcon who paused it.
Hmm.
So there was some controversy
So
over
they
there.
both said they didn't pause it, and then they just checked the tapes, kind of thing.
Yeah, and then it was like, oh, it was you.
Yeah, because it either says P1 or P2, right? And then
It's pretty easy to figure
pretty
out.
easy to figure out who
It took
did
like
it.
5 minutes to figure out who did it, from what I heard. And
Okay.
it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, that is ridiculous.
There were
They both
other
use
pause-
pad, right?
Yeah.
So it's very likely that either of them could have pressed it, I guess, on pad
Yeah.
to be, you know.
A lot of other pauses going on. I can't remember with controllers
Okay.
specifically, but I remember seeing a couple go on like that.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of the stick side, every single Razer sponsored player, so Fudo,
Mm-hmm.
Zen, and Infiltration had pauses happening on their
Mhm.
stick. Not pauses, but the stick malfunction.
Like we have with Evo?
Not quite like Evo. I think it just stopped responding or something like that. Sometimes
Uh-huh.
you had a pause, sometimes it would just stop responding. So I know in Fudo's case, there was like a pause or something that happened, and then it turns out it was Fudo's stick that caused it. So he got DQ'd basically, or he lost a
Oh,
round, which
that
was like
sucks,
round
dude.
point. It was round point between F Champ and Fudo, and it turned out Fudo's stick caused the malfunction, and then Fudo had to take the point loss, and he lost the match.
They
as a
have to
result.
enforce that rule because
You have to. You have to.
You
You have to
don't
take
want-
it out of the player's decision.
yeah, you don't want to make the player feel guilty for taking that win. You have to enforce it.
You have
It's the
to
only way to
enforce
do it properly. Yeah.
So Fudo got eliminated as a result of that. which
That
is-
sucks.
sucks. Zen had one, I think, and I think he had to take a point loss. I can't remember.
Mhm.
I know he had an issue like that. I know Infiltration versus Dako, his stick malfunctioned. It just stopped responding. He couldn't move. He couldn't whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and they had to get him a different Razor stick to play it out. And thankfully, they just played it out from where they left off,
Mm-hmm.
because it was just basically the start of the next round, and then he couldn't move.
Mm-hmm.
Based on Razer's official posts, they said the players were using a prototype PS4 stick.
Prototype?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Razer is actually developing a PS4 stick.
Obviously, still in development.
Yeah. And they gave those guys a prototype to work with for final round, and yeah, they ended up having all sorts of issues.
Yes. Very scary. As a sponsored player, you have to use, their hardware. So, yeah. So who got screwed over in total?
All three of them.
All three of them, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that sucks.
Infiltration, not so much because they let them play it out, but it literally took like 5-10 minutes to get that sorted out.
Yeah, then they just went back to the exact scenario, but I think Infiltration had one extra bar of EX or something.
I don't know.
That's really funny. I have to check the tapes on that one. That's really funny. So what was it? Was it a PCB problem? Like, what was it?
Firmware bug.
Firmware bug, hey? That sucks, man. Yeah.
So yeah, they're not in mass production yet. They're
Mhm.
basically testing them with their players, with their sponsored players,
Mm-hmm.
just to see, field test them.
Mm-hmm. Who else do you want to talk about? You want to talk about Nando?
The Mika player?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, Mika, man.
If there's anyone that was going to take out Toito before he made it to the finals, I thought it was going to be Nando, because Mika is just a wild card character. I feel like she's crazy because things can go wrong real bad when you play against our Mika, for sure.
Well, look what happened with him versus Infiltration, man.
Yeah, it was a slaughter.
It was like basically if Nando got in, Infiltration lost the round.
Mm-hmm.
like part of it is Nash's deficiencies on the defensive game, but
Yeah.
also like Infiltration was holding up back.
Yeah, that one round, all he would do is hold up back until he literally lost the round for it.
Yeah, he
It
got
was
hit,
just like, I'm never gonna change it up. I'm just gonna always hold up back. Yeah.
and Nando just called it out and went meaty all the time and capitalized off of it. And
Yeah, that
then,
was good on his part because, like, as a Mika player, when you're mixing up, you're trying to think in the other player's head. What is he gonna do this time? What is he gonna do this time? And it was like, I'm like, he called basically, that he's gonna go rock every time, so I'm always just gonna go paper kind of thing.
called his bluff basically.
Every single time. That was a
And
really
then,
good adjustment.
and then when he beat him that round, and I think he took a game off of Infiltration as a result of that.
Hmm.
The very next game, when he put him in the reset situation, he went for the command grab.
Of course.
Infiltration up back.
Yes,
And
it's like,
then
there's
he
no
ate
way
him
this
back.
guy's up back, and it's too obvious, but sure as shit,
Sure as
Infiltration made a
Up
blood
back.
pact to up back for the rest of his life. Yeah.
And then he got punished so bad for it.
I
It's
can just think what's going through Nando's head. Like, he probably rolled his eyes back. He's like, "Are you fucking kidding me, dude?"
Yeah, I
That's
would too.
exactly what he was thinking. I know he was thinking that. He was like, "Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Are you seriously up backing again?" Like, yeah, dude. I know the feeling. That's funny. That is funny, hey. But it is what
that
it is.
matchup played out exactly as I thought it would.
Okay.
Basically, if Nash keeps Mika out, and he can very easily, Mika's gonna lose. If Mika gets in, it's gonna be a rough time for Nash. But Nash can still escape.
Yes.
V reversal or V trigger or something like that. Nash can still get out.
Yeah. And then it's really hard for Mika to get back in after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that's exactly what happened. Infiltration kept him out, won. Nando got in, he had to guess, and he lost. So I think he won 3-1 in that.
Was
Yeah.
another good match that Nano played. Like, he had some really cool matches that I enjoyed watching.
Toito, I think?
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah, he played against Toito, and like I said, when he played against Toito, I was like, if there's anyone that's going to take Toito out before he gets to the finals, it'd definitely be Nando because of the way he's been playing. And every time he did a mix-up on Toito in the corner, he was so worried every time for him to do the DP.
No, not as much. He did meaty a lot, and Toito just sat and blocked.
I was waiting for it, though. I'm like, when is Toito going to release it,
And he tried to bait it out one time. He like backdashed,
And he didn't do
Toito
it.
didn't bite. And then when the situation arose, Toito finally DP and
And it worked, of course. Yeah. That was a really funny match. Yeah.
So yeah, his Mika was legit. But Mika is also one of the most aggravating characters to play against, just because her mix-up game is so strong.
And people are literally like finding new stuff with this character every day. Like, it's
new
nuts.
resets, new stuff into new sequences that go into stun, into death, and all sorts of
Yeah,
stuff.
Mika is getting scary. Like, sure, she has some issues like in the neutral game, but she's so explored when she does land a hit that she becomes a monster when she lands that hit on you. Like,
I don't know if that's fair, honestly. Like, it's just Mika's so aggravating to play against because of that.
yeah,
She just
especially
doesn't play
online.
Street Fighter. She
Yeah.
just doesn't play Street Fighter, and then she gets in and then resets.
Yeah, because we're getting back to the whole the Street Fighter V philosophy, right? About how they're trying to avoid vortex games and stuff like that. And it's kind of like Mika's kind of breaking the rules,
Yeah.
And I can understand how that would be aggravating for sure. We got someone like Zangief where like he lands a SPD, if it's not EX, it kind of ends his momentum right there. Whereas with Mika, it's like it keeps going and going and going, and
Like,
and
Mika
the
lands
damage output is
Peach.
insane, and yeah.
She lands Peach or Brimstone, you're in the vortex basically.
Yeah.
It's not the true vortex, but it's just basically you're guessing between meaty and command grab, among other options. And then she gets so much mileage off of her V trigger, like the damage output and everything. It's just she gets one or two. I wouldn't say reads. Basically, if you guess wrong once or twice, you're dead.
Yeah, that's funny. But we'll go over the characters again in the future.
Yeah.
Because Mika's interesting to talk about.
So Sonic Fox.
Yeah, let's talk about Sonic Fox. So Sonic Fox made the top 8, which is
Yeah,
crazy
I
because
think
Sonic Fox is not known as a Street Fighter player.
He was the highest placing American.
Was he?
Something
He
like
got 7th.
him or Nando got.
No,
oh,
Brent is cool got 5th.
was it okay?
Yeah, Brent is cool got 5th, man.
Okay. So he outplaced a lot of well-known Capcom players.
So did he slip through the cracks?
You
You guys have to understand, like with a 1,000-man bracket, people are gonna,
there's gonna be luck at the
it's-
bracket.
there's gonna be some
Part
luck
of
in
it's
there.
luck of the bracket. I didn't feel like Sonic Fox had to play some of the top Japanese players until super late.
Okay. Okay.
Because look at Jaewon. Jaewon got eliminated in top 128-ish,
Mm-hmm.
and he had to fight like Haitani and Mago
Which was an amazing match, by the way.
Kazunoko or something like I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
He had to play two strong Japanese players, and that's how he got eliminated.
Yep.
Sonic Fox didn't have to play anyone till like Tokido, I think.
Mm-hmm. To
So
be
I
fair, on
think
Justin's side, it's like, even though his bracket was very tough, you know, if you
he did
expect to win the
really
tournament,
good.
you got to beat these guys then and there. It doesn't matter when you play them in the finals or when you play them early. If you're going to win the tournament, you got to beat them whenever you run into them, you know?
There were close matches too.
Very. And that's
Some
why
of
they
it
were
could have
so
gone
good.
either way, but
Yes.
it just didn't work out. So nothing against them, but like, yeah, I just felt like Sonic Fox didn't have as tough of a bracket as other, but that's part of a tournament. It's just
Yeah.
luck of the bracket.
I still think he played well, repping up the Fang. But
Yeah, he did. He did an amazing job with Fang. Like his pressure is pretty good. I think Zen's pressure with Fang is better, but I think Sonic Fox played really well overall.
good conversions.
Yeah, and he's just he's playing pretty solid. There's some questionable things he does.
I feel like Sonic
I'm
Fox
think-
doesn't like to block when he gets up. I feel like he always wants to do something.
Yeah, he
Some
got
kind of
meated a lot.
reprisal. He got meated a lot. Like he always wants to jump out. He always wants to do some type of reversal. He doesn't like to just sit and just accept that he has to block. You know. Do you think that might be a habit from the other fighting games that he plays, or is that just his own kind of aggressive playstyle?
I don't know, man. I don't know how it is for Mortal Kombat because Mortal Kombat you have to kind of do stuff. You have to block in some situations in Mortal Kombat. Like you get knocked down, it's like okay.
Yeah.
And he plays a lot of anime fighters, and some of those you are forced to block. Like Unio, for example, you are definitely forced to block in Unio.
Okay.
So I don't know, but yeah, he has some kind of bad habits here and there. A lot of unsafe sweeps that got punished by Tokido.
Yes. Getting away with Fang players are really getting away with that kind of block string into the throw the fireballs right over his head, hoping that you'd hit him back kind of thing. I feel like Fang players are getting away with it, and eventually, once people start picking up on it, you can easily counter it.
Yeah,
and that's gonna cause some problems.
Like he got torn apart by Tokido with these habits of his.
Yeah,
so.
Hurricane kick through and things like that.
So like he's doing well for transitioning into SF5, but I feel like once he hits that upper echelon of players, he's gonna have a rough time. So
okay. And do you think that's him as a player, or do you think because of his character?
Him as a player.
Okay.
I think right now he's not fully transitioned over to Street Fighter yet in terms of like his mindset on when you play Street Fighter.
Totally understandable.
He's good, no doubt about it, but there's still like that gap that he has to kind of get past here.
Okay.
When playing Street Fighter. So hopefully he improves, he continues to improve, and we'll see more from him because he has a lot of potential.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a player that has a ton of potential.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to talk about the other American, Brent? Brent is cool.
Yeah, he was a Rufus player in the NorCal region.
Okay.
He goes to Wednesday night fights.
Okay.
From what I can remember, did pretty well with Rufus overall. Now he's a Ken player.
Mm-hmm.
Did well in Winter Brawl. I think he made top 16 or something like that in Winter Brawl.
Mm-hmm.
Can't quite remember. And then he got into top 8 with final round. But also I feel like he also didn't have as tough of a bracket as some of the other players.
Okay, so you think he kind of slipped through the cracks a little bit too?
A little bit.
It seemed like once he got to top 8, he had some serious issues.
He went 0-2 basically once he got into top 8.
I felt like he was like in the Mile High Club, you know?
Yeah,
it was just like way over his head. If
he's like above average player, but once he hits the upper echelon, he's just outclassed.
Boom, just right into the wall. Yeah, he looked pretty frustrated too.
Oh yeah, you could tell when he had to play. Who was it? Haitani? I can't remember.
Was it Haitani?
I can't remember. I remember he was playing against one Japanese player, and then it's like he was so frustrated. Like when he was about to get eliminated, he just went wake up DP, freaking V trigger activation into like EX DP, and then the guy reversal hit him, and then he did another TP, and it got blocked, and he died. This guy did like 3 DPs in a row.
Yeah, he did. He got so frustrated that he went DP, And then he got
V-trigger.
punished for it. Then he went DP, activated to V trigger, and then that's still -5 or -6.
Yeah.
And then he just boom and do another uppercut.
To an uppercut that got V reversaled, and then he fucking did another uppercut or something like that. I don't know. It's just a series of uppercuts that were all like blocked or something, and he got punished in the end, and he died. And it's just
Yeah,
like,
winners semifinals. It says Mago defeated Brent Cool 3-0, and then it says Brent Cool is also defeated by Haitani 3-0.
oh, okay, yeah,
in
it's
this
Haitani then.
Haitani and Mago.
So it's just like basically like threw up the flag and said, "Fuck it, let's just, just DP."
Yeah.
He's just like, I don't care. I just want to DP just so I can feel like just to go that sigh, not sigh of relief, but like that.
It was a visual like frustration.
Yeah, it was
both
just
in
like,
the
you just
game
had-
and on the stream. You know, it was very visual. Like I remember I was laughing on the couch when I saw it. That crazy DP madness.
It
There's
was
a lot
just
of
like
Ume
basically
shorties,
someone
you know?
who's like, screw it, I'm gonna DP. When he does it all, he gets punished. He's just like, just lets out that sigh, just going, like he's just like relieved, right? He's just like, I
Yeah.
just wanted to do this for the longest time.
Oh, of course. That was good, man. That was good. But, you know, props to him getting top 8, dude. You know?
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't expect to make it that far, you know?
Well, I'm sure he was ecstatic for making top 8,
Yes.
but it's like, man, you hit that wall hard once you got into there. So it's like, it shows that he has a long way to go to get past that level of player.
Speaking
But-
of hitting the wall, man, you want to talk about Mago? Like, Mago made it so far, 3rd place, and then he got defeated, looked like so easily at the end.
By Toito, yeah.
Yeah. What was up
Who
with
sent him
that?
to losers?
Infiltration. 3-0.
Oh, yeah, well,
3-0.
no doubt, man.
Yeah.
Infiltration's so godlike.
Yeah, Mago. Mago didn't stand out for me. You know, Justin stood out, but Mago didn't stand out for me at all. I don't know why that is.
Really?
Yeah, I honestly, I thought Justin played Karen so well, and I just maybe because Mago's playing her very textbook. I don't know, Killey. I don't know. He just didn't stand out for me. I'm not saying Mago's bad, but I'm just saying that like he was defeated so swiftly. It was kind of like I wanted to see, you know, why was Mago making it so far in this tournament? I wanted to see it. That's all. Do you have anything to talk about with Mago? Because like I have nothing to talk about. That's what I'm saying. Like, did Mago do anything that like, you know?
Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
With Karen, just solid play and good conversions.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I didn't see too many of his matches.
He was dropping shit on Toito though, man. Like,
Yeah,
had his
but I think
opportunities.
I think he just like had an issue. Like I think Toito had his number.
Yeah. Yeah, it seemed like Toito and Infiltration were a cut above the rest, and
Yeah.
Haitani.
And Haitani.
It seemed like those guys were like whew, really strong, you know.
Yeah. So
Are we missing anyone before we talk about these gods here?
Bonchan just went MIA, man. I don't know where he went.
I
Didn't
have
get to
no
see anything
idea.
from
My boy
Bonchan. I
Bonchan.
barely got to see anything from Fudo. Barely saw anything from I didn't see anything from Oichi.
Yeah, I wanted Julio to make it further with Ken.
Oh my god, Julio got destroyed by Knuckledew. Oh, Knuckledew! Knuckledew did really
He
well.
got 9th. He's
Yeah.
repping the Nash.
And he won SF4 with Guile.
Yes, which is pretty crazy.
So I think Knuckledew is strong. That's another kid with a lot of potential.
Yes, very young.
I think he kind of overused Moonsault in his play. And some combo drops here and there. But I think he's on the right track. With
But he
that.
wasn't taunting though, so
No. Can't.
no, can't.
uh,
I think Nash will hold him over until Gao comes out.
pretty much. But
He'll
I think
hold it down.
he's got a good foundation with Nash so far.
Yeah. So yeah, well,
Good.
especially since he won Street Fighter 4, he did very well, making it to 9th.
Yeah, so good on him. Who else?
Flash Metroid with Vega, he got 9th. I liked how Flash Metroid was punishing the neutral jumps. With
Yeah,
the
that was
V-trigger.
pretty good, but I felt like his neutral game wasn't as strong.
I know you really want people to start really exploit Vega's neutral game, which is very powerful.
It is so strong. I want people to play more footsies with Vega, and I'm just not seeing it. I just
Okay.
see people rush down so much with claw and claw off, but it's like he's got such a strong footsie game, man. You force someone to play Vega's footsie game, they get mauled.
His movement speed is out of control. Yeah.
Really out of control. I just
hear
feel
what
like
you're
people are playing Vega too aggressively. A lot of jumps. And it's like Vega doesn't need to jump.
Mhm.
Unless it's like fireball characters or whatever like that. But like against anyone else, Vega doesn't need to jump. he forces other people to jump. That's how I
Mm-hmm.
feel like Vega is played at a higher level.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't see like the crazy stuff. Reketsu had some good confirms too. 3-hit confirms into EX wall dive with claw mode.
Yes. Very good on him to recognize if the opponent is crouching or standing.
Yep. Flash was doing the same, I think, as well. So yeah, a lot of good stuff. Who
I'm
else?
looking through the bracket. Yeah. I think it's time for us to talk about the gods.
What about F-Champ?
F Champ's always performing really well. Isn't he going exclusive on Street Fighter V now?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always going exclusive on it. Um, F Champ is man. Like, I think he's like the best awesome, honestly. But um, who did he get beat by?
Toito,
I
I think?
remember F Champ got frustrated because he messed up a TK teleport and he
Yeah, that
lost
costed him.
because of it, and it totally put him on tilt.
Yeah, I think it was Tokido that happened. I can't remember.
I'm looking through it really quick here, trying to find who F Champ lost to. Sorry, guys. There's so many players to talk about. I'm just trying to find it. Maybe I'll just control search his name. Uh, Tokido eliminated F Champ 2-1.
Yeah, that must have been the match.
Yeah.
Critical one.
And F Champ took out Chris T. And F Champ took out Fudo. And
Yeah,
that was the
that
match,
was
the
the
Razor
was the
Stick. Yeah.
yeah.
And F Champ, yeah.
So F-Champ performed well. Not as well as he probably hoped for.
Oh, of course not. Of course not. But I think the potential is definitely there. I think F Champ, if he won a tournament, I would not be surprised, honestly.
Yeah.
I feel like he really has that character down. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Nando sent Goichi to losers.
Mm-hmm. Because he got into the vortex.
He got screwed.
All
Just
right.
kind of yeah. If he played a stronger neutral, should have been able to win that one. 'Cause
God time?
Yeah. Now it's
Okay.
pretty much
So we're going to talk.
Haitani. I think it's Haitani.
Yeah, Haitani, Tokido, Infiltration. So let's start with Haitani. Definitely one of the
It's
most
probably
impressive players to watch.
the best Nakali player I've seen to date.
Okay.
His Nakali is nuts.
Yeah. In Japan, he is considered the strongest Japanese player right now,
Yeah.
and he uses Nakali, and that's part of the reason why Japan thinks Nakali is a very strong character. Yeah, for the longest time, I get a lot of questions on my stream. How do I play neutral with Nakali? How do I, his mid range is weak. Like, he has to use a lot of standing hard kick and stuff, and there's like slow normals, hard to get conversions off it. And he's looking for straight crush counters. But I always thought for the longest time that like Nakali should just focus on getting that V trigger up. You got to accept that your character is not good until the V trigger comes out, and all of a sudden Nakali is just beast mode, like one of the best characters when he activates. And I really liked Haitani's game plan of doing lots of V skills, zoning people out with it. Like, if they block it, he gains so much bar for it, and when it lands, it's just explosive.
Like
And it
almost
really,
a full bar, right? If he
yeah,
lands it.
it's so much, man. It's like a third.
And I
And
love how like he lands the crush counter stand roundhouse, and instead of doing like the max damage combo, he goes target combo V skill.
yes, because his game plan is that he understands that Nakali needs to get into V trigger, and then when you're zoning people with V skill, it makes other players impatient. It makes them want to try to punish it by doing an unsafe move, like trying to
This
do
is
a random
so
spiral
slow.
arrow, maybe a random spiral arrow, or worse, trying to jump in. And Nakali has a very good anti-air, very strong anti-air. So, yeah, I just like that game plan with Nakali. I really do, and I think Haitani really showed off that's the way to go. I feel.
And I like how he like compromises on the fact that sometimes you're not going to be able to just not safely, to confirm into the V trigger activation. He'll just like, I can't get in normally in order to get this V trigger activation going, so I'm just going to go raw V trigger activate. Let's go.
I feel like, yeah, a lot of players are holding on to their V triggers too hard, waiting for that conversion. And like with Nakali, I feel like you got to get on that activation ASAP, because you become instantly crazy when you activate that V trigger, especially online when everything starts lagging. And like with him, yeah, he would just, if he knows he's not going to get in, he would just activate, So A lot of people were saying that Haitani wakes up with too many light punches. Like he's always mashing light punch. People
Yeah.
noticed that right away, and the reason is because he was doing an option select. He was doing the crouch jab throw option select.
Yeah.
So in case you guys don't know, if you like during the frames of someone throwing you, you can just go jab, and then if they happen to throw you, you still have enough time to tech it because 7 frame window, and then otherwise he would just jab them out, or if they did a normal, he would be block it. It was not too many people were using that option select, but Haitani was very blatant that he was using it, and Toito punished him for it for sure.
Yeah.
Because he knew he was doing it.
The benefits of his jab is insane. It's a 3-frame jab, and then you can go V trigger activate and then convert.
One of the few characters that can do that, and I honestly did not know that until I saw that tournament. So I was pretty blown away when I saw it. Light punch right into conversion. Good conversion.
The crazy part was like at max range, if he lands the jab on counter hit or something like that, he can link it to crouch fierce.
Yeah, is it because the light punch is meaty?
Something like that. I don't know. It hits on
It's
I guess
weird.
it hits on the last active frame in that weird scenario.
Yeah,
so
and that
once
is
he
a
activates-
massive conversion. A 3-frame conversion like that is.
Like I think he actually did it in the tournament or something. Like
I've seen it at least once. I know he did it. At
I
least
felt
once.
like I'm pretty sure he did it. It
Yeah.
looked like it was like jab activate into crouch fierce and the fat damage. It was
Yeah.
just like, oh my god.
And that just gets the ball rolling. But even then, if Haitani couldn't land a good conversion, he still the dash into command grab and all that was just so scary.
I swear he was 100% on that on his command grabs. It was insane. Like it was the most like he hit it well. So like for the longest time he thought he'd do dash command grab, but he didn't, and he just played that solid game because Nikali is the 3rd fastest walk speed when he has V trigger activated,
And it
his
doesn't
dash
seem
is
like it.
It doesn't, but it is. And his dash is insane once he V-triggers 2 dashes and he covers the whole screen.
I think after watching Haitani, we gotta make some adjustments to Nakali on our tier list, Killey.
There's a lot we have to make adjustments for.
Another thing too about Haitani is that he made Nakali's dive kick work so well. He made it look like it was young or something. Seriously, every time he dive kicked, he always converted into a crouching light punch and into EX stomp or something. He landed so many times. He was changing his
counter
trajectory a lot. Yeah.
It's because he's counter hitting the anti-air attempt and then he gets a combo. Because
Yeah.
I don't think you can combo off of it normally.
Really? I think you can, but don't quote me
sure.
on that, guys. Don't mind me on that. Yeah, Haitani, man. When he was playing against Justin, I noticed that Haitani wasn't falling for shimmies. Rarely falling for shimmies. Especially when he's doing like wake up jab, right?
You want to talk about that Justin Long match? It was insane that
Yeah,
last.
it's probably just the you're talking about the last.
The last round. And it was like basically he had the life lead. I think he got the life lead at some point.
Mhm.
And then it was like the clock is ticking.
I feel like Haitani took a huge risk going in, though. I think he should have just ran away during those last
It's tough.
6
It's
seconds.
tough.
He threw Justin into the corner. No, he went after Justin, and Justin eventually threw him into the corner, and there was literally like 3-4 seconds left. And then Justin made a quick decision to walk forward and do the EX reversal.
No, he set it up differently. Like he first threw him, dashed in, went for the shimmy. Nothing. He didn't bite.
Which was
Dashed-
insane.
Dashed in, did EX.
I think Justin made the right decision, even though
That
he
was the
lost.
right call.
I think he made the right decision, Justin, doing that. Like Justin is really good under pressure.
I couldn't believe Haitani didn't fall for
The
it.
only
It was-
explanation is Haitani's controller was broken and he couldn't press anything. That's the only way I think
It was
he
like
didn't press
first
anything. I think
steal.
his controller was broken. Like, I don't understand how he didn't fall for that. I really don't.
It was just absolutely nerves of steel. Like I think he was okay taking throw damage, but I think
I
he
think
took
in his head he
another
was like,
throw.
he cannot kill me if he throws me. Therefore, I'm just gonna down back until this is over. That was so scary.
It was so scary because I think if Justin threw him, that would have allowed him to get the life lead. And
One of the
so
best matches.
It was so well set up though because literally Justin went like dash throw or something like that, dash shimmy, dash EX uppercut, and it was like several baits. It was just like everything was set up so right to to set up that EX uppercut.
It was inhuman of Haitani to not fall for those.
I
Like
just
in
I could,
that crazy of a situation.
I think like most players would have fell for it. I think it was just like nerves of steel, man. It
Yeah,
was
just
absolutely insane.
insane. Or his controller was broken. That's the only. Yeah, it was absolutely insane.
So that was very sick on both players. Like I really respect Jaewong's setup for it. Like he just set that up so perfectly,
I still think he made the right call, even though he lost. Yeah.
and then it was just like even smarter of Haitani not to take the bait.
Of course. Of course. Yeah. Nerves of steel. Do you want to talk about the Zet Familia?
Tokido, I think Tokido was the MVP of that tournament.
Okay. Okay. He kind of came out of nowhere. He wasn't getting the spotlight that much because everyone thought he was playing Dalsum. And I remember recently he was playing a big set against Daigo, and I'm like, man, Tokido's Ryu is really sick. And I remember I was telling you guys, Killey, and I'm like, man, I think Tokido's got a better Ryu than Daigo. And you guys were like, saying I'm a Daigo hater and shit. But anyways, so I'm like, maybe Tokido's going to play Ryu. And sure as shit, he does. He starts off by OCV in the American team. And then in the tournament, it was just destruction. I did not see how he lost to Kazunoko. But he got his double jeopardy and took him out later. And it didn't seem like it was that close. So it seemed like Tokido was a cut above everyone else. He was doing... he was not parrying that much. Sure, he parried like a moonsault to convert a lot of damage. Really obvious stuff. He did parry Nakali's stomp and converted that into a forward hard punch.
Yeah.
Which was a colossal amount of damage for Ryu. But the other thing is, like, Tokido was using every single tool Ryu had, besides the parry. He was using a lot of standing hard kicks. He was using a lot of just everything Ryu had. One of the main things, too, was he doing jumping light kick a lot. Did you hear the explanation about that?
Yeah, so Shady K posted on Twitter that Ryu's jumping light kick has a vertical hitbox that extends past his hurt box.
Yeah.
So this is the reason why a lot of anti-airs would lose or trade against the jumping light kick. And according to Shady K, it is the only jumping normal in the game that actually behaved this way.
Interesting. How did Tokido find out about this?
Someone had posted the hitbox data. Like you could visibly see the hitbox.
Oh,
data.
so then
I don't know if
Tokido's
he saw it or if he just discovered it on his own. But yeah.
Interesting. The downside to this is that you do a low amount of hit stun, so your string afterwards has to be like really tight, and you gotta go. He went crouching light punch to standing light punch or something.
Something like that.
When you do jumping medium kick, like usually with Ryu, you want to go standing medium punch into crouching hard punch kind of conversion because that's a lot of damage.
Basically, he has to use his lights into DP or Tatsu or whatever.
Yeah, but that literally, Tokido just used jumping like it. Period.
Just always jumping like it.
Do you want to talk about the option select Tokido was using?
Yeah, so I don't fully understand all the details of this option select, but basically
just give people the rough idea.
It's like you on wake up, you down back, so you block for a certain amount of frames, and then at any point during this blocking animation or blocking, you can go up and throw tech at the same time. So how it works is basically you will block, depending on how long you decide to hold up down back, you will block. And then there's like 3 pre-jump frames. So depending on when you decide to up back, and throw tech, you'll jump out if they do nothing, and then if they try to throw you, you'll throw tech.
So the purpose is to avoid the situation of knowing when they're gonna attack you and throw you.
Yeah.
And as a result, you see Tokido jump back and do light kick a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. People are wondering what that was about. So yeah, he was doing option select. I don't know if Capcom's taking that one out in this patch.
He is. He's actually they're actually taking it out in this patch. So
okay.
One is the up back throw tech that's being removed.
Uh-huh.
So that's not happening anymore. And the other is the extra pre-jump frame.
Oh yeah, good point.
So
they have to jump
both of
forward.
those, yeah. So both of those changes pretty much kills that option select.
So don't panic, guys. Don't panic. Capcom was on that. Let's go Tokido. A lot of standing straight medium punch conversions into super.
Oh god, the counter hit was so sexy. He goes counter hit, medium punch, and then sometimes you just raw super. Link into the super. Other times you go. Sees the counter hit medium punch, he's like, oh, and then does another medium punch, and then boom, super.
Yeah, Tokido was using a lot of guard crush setups, crush counter, low hard kick, cancel into V trigger. Standing medium punch into normal charge is an unblockable setup. Or he can go crush counter, low hard kick, activate the V trigger, and backdash into full charge EX, fireball, 2 guard break setups. If you do the EX guard break, either guard broken for longer, allowing you to dash forward and do a full forward hard punch conversion, which is a lot of damage, even though there is a lot of damage scaling after you guard break, so I think it's like 40%.
Yeah, but he mixed it up. He got a guard break with someone with like a regular fireball charge, and then he dashed up and did forward fierce, which doesn't work.
Yeah, I think he got kind of mixed up. And then he also did a lot of uppercut into super, because it's going to guard break him anyways. A lot of stuff like that, a lot of gambits, I guess you would call them. With Ryu, if you up DP someone and cancel it into the Denjin super, you get like a free crouching hard punch into uppercut. Like, it's a lot of damage for something that's unblockable, basically.
The smartest play he did was on Sonic Fox. He had Sonic Fox cornered, and he already had V trigger activated. But he didn't do that string because Sonic Fox had full V trigger. So if he decided to do it while he had full V trigger, he could have V reversaled out of there and actually probably would have gotten punished for it.
Yeah.
And then Sonic Fox decided to crack V trigger, and when we saw that, we all just looked and said, "Checkmate."
Yeah, he's done. He's done. As soon as he activated. Yeah.
As soon as he activated, that was like the dumbest thing Sonic Fox could have done in that moment, because that was a checkmate situation. Because as soon as that happened, Toito got him into a block string, did DP super, guard crushed him, and then killed him.
Yep, death. Yep.
And there was literally nothing he could do in that situation. So if he didn't crack the V trigger, he would have forced Toito to play differently. But because he activated V trigger, it was checkmate situation.
And if you guys are wondering why Ryu loses his entire V trigger when he does his super, now you know why. Because it's a guard crush. Mid screen, if you do it point blank, you could link a sweep after the guard crush. I don't know what else you can link, but I think just a sweep. But very powerful, really using those tools. A lot of people feel like Ryu is best played as more up close, aggressive game. We didn't see too much zoning with Toito. It was a lot of close game, not too many fireballs.
Barely used fireballs. Barely used V skill.
Yeah, barely used parry. Interesting. Yeah. Toito just played so well. And like I said, the key thing to take away from Tokido's Ryu was that he was literally using every tool. Everything he had. Overheads, forward hard punch, standing hard kick, back hard kick. Just every tool Ryu has. And Ryu's got a really nice ceiling, and the Japanese players do consider Ryu a top tier character. Right? They think he's A+, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about Toito?
No, he's a godlike player, man.
Well, let's talk about his comeback on Haitani.
Oh yeah, Haitani. Okay.
The comeback.
So yeah, Haitani called everything that Toito was doing in the last round. Like,
last round match.
Air to air, everything. He's just calling him out.
Yeah.
And he basically preempted him in everything, and he got him into the corner, and basically he had like no life. And then like I think he tried to do the shimmy or something. He was like backing off. He had a knockdown. He started backing off. Toito woke up, did low forward Tatsu, and it caught Haitani's feet because he wasn't blocking low. He was just walking back. He got low forward Tatsu, but he did like the heavy Tatsu or something because he ended up landing behind him. And then he did meaty back roundhouse. And
you're getting ahead because he guard broke him, and that's when he dashed forward.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So Toito guard breaks him with a full charge fireball, but the guard break, when he dashed forward, it's like he knew you couldn't convert. No, it was a super. It was a super. It was a super, so he couldn't convert anything off of him. So Haitani gets hit by the super, which guard crushes him. Toito wasn't in range to convert anything, so he dashes forward, then dashes back, like a dash shimmy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then Haitani falls for it, which is crazy considering he didn't fall for Justin's shimmy, and he gets hit by a low forward into Tatsu. And then that's when
I'm watching the GIF. So yeah, that's the thing.
You're watching the GIF?
He did wake up low forward fireball into super, guard crushes, dash forward, dash back, and then does low forward Tatsu, because Haitani was trying to tech the throw.
Yes.
He got hit by that. Then he did the meaty back hard kick, stand short into DP. I think. Let me double check this.
Or no, I think it was into another Tatsu,
it's a
so he's
Tatsu.
beside him again.
Yeah, then he dashed forward, did the meaty again, and then he stunned him, and then that's what caused them to win.
He really exploited the fact that Haitani was always trying to do that option select with the crouching light punch.
Yeah.
And blew him up with 2 meaties because of it.
Yeah, and he was definitely meaty because we see the counter hit.
Yeah. So he got, and it was over, right? The damage output on Ryu is really high, so you get 2.
Haitani had like 70% life in that situation.
Yes.
And it was literally 3 combos into stun, and then that was it. That was literally it, 3 combos, and that was it. He lost because of it. It was amazing. I can't believe he fell for it twice.
Yeah.
That was so crazy.
The look on Haitani's face when he lost was hilarious too.
Oh, he was
just like, ugh, like it was burning. It was burning. But that was definitely the best match of the night.
That was definitely the highlight match.
Yeah. That was amazing.
And that's why Toito is the MVP. MVP of the tournament. That comeback was absolutely nuts.
So I guess it's time to talk about Razor Infiltration.
Okay.
I'm not surprised he won this tournament. I guess you're not surprised either.
I predicted right off the bat that Infiltration was going to win final round. He was my favorite to win the tournament because the way he was playing Nash was a cut above everyone else.
Okay, and what kind of playstyle is that?
He plays all playstyles.
What the fuck?
Every playstyle that Nash can play that I've talked about before, he plays it all.
Okay. Well, I saw a lot of weird stuff, a lot of dashing, sometimes a lot of zoning, sometimes...
Well, that's the way you got to play Nash.
Okay.
You have to use every tool, and he uses every tool of Nash.
Okay.
He plays the rushdown game when he needs to. He says, okay, this isn't working, and we're back to neutral, backs off. Plays the mid-range game with his pokes and normals. Says, okay, I don't need to play this anymore. I'm going to go to zoning.
Okay.
Starts playing the zoning. Okay, they jump, anti-air. Now I'm in their ass.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to go back. And he shifts between all 3 playstyles of Nash so consistently. And he just brick walls them so bad. Like
it really exploits his tool set, the Nash tool set.
They just could not jump in on Infiltration. Like maybe Toito was like the most successful because of jump shorts and stuff like that.
Yeah, that looked like it kind of frustrated Infiltration for a second because he was kind of confused. Because I've seen a lot of counter hits, and Infiltration was fishing. Infiltration was like, obviously he had enough matches to figure it out, but he was trying to figure out, okay, this is not working. What else is like? He's trying to figure out which button worked, right?
Yeah. So I mean, and then he figured it out. But it was like he just the way he plays is just insane. It's nothing like super fancy, but it is so fundamentally solid. They could not get him. And
Infiltration went undefeated.
I think he only lost 1 game against Toito.
Yeah, I mean, he was never put in losers at any point. He went all the way through, and it was like a slaughter.
Pretty much. I think the craziest play he did was he got a knockdown on Toito in the corner, backdash, did Fierce Sonic Boom, forward dash, Toito up back, and then he met him air to air with jump short.
Okay.
And jump short is that like weird 45-degree angle kick, and I've seen his stream before. And he likes using that a lot.
Okay.
So he met him air to air, like it was just insane. Why would you do that kind of thing? Like it was so like he just knew it. He just called it out. Air to air, jump short, dashed under him in the corner, dashed under him, full combo.
Oh yeah, that looked really tricky.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that too.
So it was just so
Tokyo didn't see that coming. Yeah.
So well calculated because it's like, oh my god, how did he? And it was like when he met him air to air, it was like so far away. He wasn't even like super close to him. It was just so far away when he hit him with that jump short. Because it has a really good like horizontal hitbox. Right? So it hit him air to air, and then he did the dash under. It was such a sick play. Like 3 steps ahead of Toito, in my opinion. When he set that up, he's like steps ahead of Toito.
You got this crazy infill hard on, dude. But as you're a Nash player yourself, so I can see how you can appreciate it.
He's just so godlike with the character. It's insane. It's nothing like fancy too. That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I thought was really weird is he had a lot of combo drops.
Okay.
And I thought that was very weird. There's some very definite.
It was a very important tournament for him to win.
Yeah.
To place
probably
the
turning
Capcom
nerves.
Cup.
Probably turning nerves. But he had some really strange combo drops.
Okay.
Like, oh man, those combos are really easy. But yeah, turning nerves, grand finals, all that I can understand. But it's just like,
Yeah. Yeah, there's not too many highlights to talk about. It was just that he was just so dominant throughout. No key moments, I'd say. Just
Yeah,
very.
not that they really force him to go like next level, right?
Hmm.
He like stuck to his game plan, like just stuck to the way that he's been playing all this time with Nash since the beta phases, and it just worked
Hmm.
exactly as he's always been playing.
Yeah.
So like nobody really forced him to go that next level.
Hmm.
So, but I also think Ryu versus Nash is a really bad matchup for Ryu. Like,
Oh, really?
I don't think it's in Ryu's favor at all. It's like Ryu can't keep up with his ground with the zoning, can't keep up with his ground game, can't keep up with his movement. Like you just have to place like it's a super grind for Ryu to get in. Very hard for Ryu to get in,
Hmm.
and then he has to play like he has to make a series of really good reads.
It's funny. You can see like Nash throw like a full screen Sonic Boom, and then you parry it, or you try to do something. All of a sudden, there's a bazooka knee right in your face. Like he's
Oh god,
already
yeah.
full screen away, and he's
He
already
made
right
some
in front of you.
he made some really good calls. Like basically, if Nash throws a fireball and Ryu decides to throw a fireball right afterwards, you got to throw that fireball out fast. If you try to do it last minute, Nash is gonna freaking bazooka knee you, forward fierce, Sonic Scythe. Like he's just gonna hit you right afterwards.
Yeah, yeah.
So you got to be really careful with that. And like Infiltration did all like basically two of the three because I think he did Sonic Scythe at one point.
Hmm.
So basically, he went dash. He like threw the fireball, dash forward. Tokido threw the fireball. He went Sonic Scythe. The two fireballs nullified, and then the Sonic Scythe went through and tagged Tokido.
Hmm.
Then the other time he like did that, he went bazooka knee, and then Tokido got hit
Hmm.
because the fireball nullified, and he just like sailed right through it.
Yeah.
Just it was so calculated. Everything
Hmm.
was so calculated with it. But yeah, it's just a very grindy matchup for Ryu, and if you can't get in, like you get you're gonna lose. You just can't keep up with Nash. Like
Yeah.
look at like Infiltration's movement with Nash. He's just constantly dashing back and forth,
Hmm.
repositioning himself, using all his command normals to get underneath you. Like he threw the fireball, Tokido would jump, and then he went bazooka knee, tried to anti-air him, but it didn't quite work out, and he just sailed underneath him. He's like, I'm out of the corner, you're in the corner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like everything was just so like well spaced,
Hmm.
so well played,
Hmm.
just the way you need to play the character. And it's like that's the thing. Like I feel like a lot of the American Ashes they don't really watch how Infiltration plays, so they didn't utilize all of Nash's tools properly.
Okay.
So like it's basically like the textbook play for Nash.
All right.
Infiltration plays it. Like if you want to know how to play Nash, you watch Infiltration and he will show you everything.
So like Nash players are like they're spoiled right now in terms of
Oh
content.
yeah, for sure.
They're
Like
spoiled.
that's why Nash is so well developed
Hmm.
right now because of Infiltration.
Okay.
In my opinion. It's just Infiltration is explored so much with the character that everyone has a basis to work off of, and then they can explore it a little bit further.
Okay.
And like he didn't even need to like Nash has some crazy corner meaty pressure. After Roundhouse Sonic Scythe, if he does like Fierce Sonic Boom stuff like that, he's like plus 14 or something on block.
Really.
So he's got like all these tons of frame like meaty and frame traps and stuff like that, and they all lead into knockdowns, into more meaties. Like I've seen Infiltration do this on stream, and he was never forced to use it.
Okay.
That's how dominant he was. He
Hmm.
just was never forced to go into that full rush down pressure in the corner. He's just like, I'm just gonna play neutral.
You didn't have to use his Bankai. Yes.
So that's how dominant he was.
So congrats to Infiltration for sure. All right. Is there anyone else you want to talk about, or you want to start talking about what's next to come now?
Let's talk about what's next to come. 'Cause
So we got NCR coming up. When is it coming up?
next weekend.
Yeah, next weekend. Which
Or
is
sorry,
really...
this weekend. This weekend.
Yeah, so I guess most of the international players are just gonna chill and wait for this tournament, right? No sense going home now. So we're gonna have another big international tournament, right?
Yeah, like as I looked at the brackets, and I know I can confirm that Momochi, Bonchan, Fudo, Tokido, no Mago surprisingly.
Okay.
So I don't think I saw Mago. Infiltration, Zen, Dako, Zhaohai, are going.
Okay.
It's like the Asian players, Chocoblanca as well. But like yeah, like basically a lot of the Asian players that went down from final round, they're sticking around to go to NCR.
Mhm.
In terms of the American players, usual suspects: Jay Wong, Ricky, Pierre Rog. I don't think K-Brad is
Is
going.
Haitani still there?
Yes, Haitani's still there.
Yes.
Could be mistaken.
I hope you're not.
Let me
So what do you think is going to happen this term? You think it's going to be a repeat? Are we going to see the same
I
people at the top?
I think Infiltration is definitely going to win this again.
You think he's going to win twice? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think any like.
From what you've seen, you feel like he's just so a cut above everyone else.
Yeah,
Okay, that's fair.
they really have to. It like really depends on who he runs into.
Okay.
But I think he's going to repeat this. It just the 1 week is too short of a time for them to
Readjust?
adapt to
Okay.
readjust. But I heard the Japanese was recording everything to take back, and
Really? Secret tapes?
so I think they might be in the lab trying to figure out a counter strat to Infiltration, knowing that he is going
Nash.
that he's going to be there.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be insane if Infil wins both. Because that means, yeah, he's the player to beat. And then, yeah, I can't wait to see Tokido's Ryu again. Really.
Yeah,
Is that
Forward's going to be
familiar?
there. That's going to be cool. Forward has a really good Ryu. Pavocado, man. Pavocado Birdie.
Yeah. Doesn't he play Mika now? I think he
What?
plays Mika. Yeah, he plays Mika now.
Oh, damn. Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm dead serious, man. I think he's like a
Oh.
platinum Mika player now. Yeah, he crossed over to the dark side.
I thought he was using Birdie. And I really like his Birdie play.
Yeah, no, I honestly think he plays Mika now. From what I remember, I could be wrong, but from all the replays I'm seeing, he's playing Mika.
Africo, I don't remember seeing.
I want to see more birdie players, man. I want to see more bison players.
Yeah,
Birdies and bisons, please. I want to see many more for NCR. Yeah. Okay, so can't wait to watch that tournament. Man, you and me want to do another tier list because
Yes.
our tier list was pretty forced and we didn't put too much time into it. But instead of doing one now, I feel like we should wait till after NCR, get a better feel for it, and then we are going to give you guys like an entire podcast on the tier list, and we're gonna really break it down for you guys this time, and try to be as open-minded as possible on it. Look at everyone else's tier list, our tier list, and kind of see where we want to place these characters for fun, of course.
Yeah.
But we want to take it more seriously for sure.
It'll be very thorough.
Yeah, very thorough. I know Killey is writing up a storm on it. So we'll give the pros and cons, really kind of come to I don't want to say a compromise, but for all of us to come to some kind of agreement, I guess.
Mhm.
That'd be really nice. And then, yeah, I guess, do you think they're going to show an Alex trailer at this point? It's the only event left.
I really think so, and I also think NCR is another CPT event, if I'm not mistaken, at least for points.
It has to be. It's a major, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, but it's not an automatic qualifier like
Oh,
Valorant.
I understand.
So Infiltration is already qualified for Capcom Pro Tour.
yes. So if they do reveal an Alex trailer, it would be on the 27th
Yeah,
then on
and then you
Sunday-
can go, Alex comes out this Tuesday, the 29th.
and then Alex would come out on Tuesday on the 29th.
Yep.
That's pretty funny. There's actually a maintenance for Street
Tomorrow.
Fighter 5 tomorrow. So people are kind of suspicious about that because it's Tuesday, which
Yeah.
is when patches come out. I wouldn't be surprised if Capcom puts in a little bit of some of the content patch tomorrow, and then save Alex for the end of the month.
But I don't know. It just seems questionable for Capcom to do a patch and not and put in content without telling the
Dude, by this point, from what we've seen, how questionable things have happened, I wouldn't be surprised at this point.
I don't think Capcom would just spur of the moment do it and not say anything about it.
Okay.
I think maybe it's the groundwork to get that going, but it's definitely not the actual content stuff.
Okay, it's definitely they're definitely gonna have some kind of prep in there, something to ease the download, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Anything else you want to talk about? We covered Nash, we covered NCR, final round, players. I think we covered everything, Killey.
Pretty
So
much.
you and me will do another podcast after NCR. I don't know if we should split up like the tournament podcast and
We
then we'll
should
have a
split it up.
tier. Yeah, you want to do two? Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about NCR after math, guys, and then we'll see who shows up there, and then we'll do a separate podcast just for the tier list. We'll take it more seriously, and that'll be really fun to do. I'm really interested in what we'll come up with after doing some crazy research on what everyone else is thinking. But yeah, anything else you want to close off with, Killey? I know you're hyped for Guilty Gear.
Oh God, Revelator comes out. The Revelator early access demo comes out
Early access, boys?
Yeah.
When's that?
April 5th.
Okay, that's right around the corner, dude. So you're hype. You're quitting Street Fighter 5 after that, hey?
Oh, yeah.
You're done.
I'm done. I'm done with SF5 once that Revelator demo comes out. Until like Yuri and Jury.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll force you to play Nash on stream every now and
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
But then again, you're gonna force me to stream Guilty Gear with Nova too. So it'll go back and forth. We'll see how it is. I want to learn some Guilty Gear myself. So you got to teach me some stuff. So a lot of people are asking me to do like a tutorial on that. Obviously, I don't have enough time to do like a crazy full scale tutorial. But I was thinking, Killey, maybe you and me can do like a one take video where we literally just try to break it down.
Oh god,
That'd be kind of fun to do. It'd be a really long video, but I think we should try to you know.
give it a shot.
Yeah, give it a shot, you know. But yeah, let's close it up. Thanks for hanging out, guys, for the podcast. We're at 1 hour and 30 minutes. That's pretty good. Let me know what you guys think about final round, how it went with the brackets, what players were your favorites, who impressed you the most. And yeah, you guys don't have to tell me about how you feel about the Alex trailer. I'm pretty sure everyone's spoken their mind about it. But till next time, guys. See you later.